Now, in the late 60s and early 1970s, Philips in Holland were busy churning out cassette decks, and they got it down to a fine art, producing some very nice stereo cassette decks, such as this one, and some of them are built-in amplifiers, which this does. And the sound was very good indeed. Nice level of bass, nice crisp treble, not too much hiss because of their patented dynamic noise limiting system there. But of course, elsewhere this was noticed, and those awfully nice Sony people, to use an ancient advertising slogan from years ago, pricked their ears up somewhat, and they too decided that, well, why cannot great Sony company make stereo cassette recorder with built-in amplifier? We make it better than Philips. That's all. We sell lots and lots and lots of stereo cassette recorder. Well, this was one of the things which came to light. This is the Sony stereo cassette recorder TC 144CS. The speakers on it attached to it, one above and one below it, with these clips. And despite the fact they are only plastic, they do have quite a nice sound. Now, the only thing wrong with this one was that the take-up spool wouldn't engage drive, and it was simply a case of old grease and having not been used for years. This is very nicely made indeed. You have a little compartment there you can unclip to store the speaker lead when not in use. The speakers are two-way. There's a 6-inch unit down here and then a little 2-inch tweeter up here. This thing needs a lead like a modern kettle plug, with a 3-pin thing in there. And on the back of it we have quite a number of different connections. There is your voltage selector. So this can be run in the States even on 120 volts. And you've got your 2 RCA plugs for the speakers, and then a line out and a line in, and a 5-pin DIN plug. This was obviously made for the European market. And then a phono connection here, complete with grounding post. Now on the front, 2 microphones, and of course a headphone socket, as you'd expect. I take it that on this model the record level is probably automatic, because although you've got on the amplifier side of it volume left and right and a tone control, I don't see any variable record level sliders. The thing about it is, it's such high quality they don't even crackle, do they? I mean, you saw me move it a minute ago and it didn't crackle at all. There's a red recording lamp that comes on when you're recording. Now that's a bulb, because this is too old for LEDs, remember. And your tape counter there. The super perm alloy head that Sony had was always a good thing. They just last and last and last, and as you could hear just now, this still sounds as good as the day it was built. Nice big Japanese style VU meters here, which I suspect only work during recording. And then down here you've got various other switchgear. Speaker sound level, 2 1 and off, and then you've got normal ferrochrome and chrome tape, and here is a recording input select. You've got phono there, record playback, mic line, and stereo mono. This thing is built like a tank. It weighs about 3 tons, but what quality! It has a definite Japanese look to it. It has a sort of family likeness to my TAC A450, which is a similar massive beast, but this time without a built-in power amp. Now, I remember these things from when I was at school. We had one, it must have been brand new, I suppose. Shows you how old I am. And I think it might have been a different model, because I seem to remember the sound had a lot more bass on it. And I'm afraid at this distance in time, it's a bit of a job to remember. I remember they had a Sony Music Centre in there as well, which had the same sort of look as this. It was all wood and chrome and silver and black. Very nice indeed, very nice sound too. The fronts of the speakers, not too dissimilar to this. You see the standing proud circles. Quite a lot of hiss on this one. But not a bad sound at all. See if I can find something with a bit more bass. I can't promise anything. The only thing that's wrong with this, as I say, was that the take-up spool wouldn't take drive. So a little bit of TLC and tinkering has put that right. Now, while this doesn't sound quite as good as the old Philips kit did to my ears, it has got, well, the build quality just shines through, doesn't it? You can see this thing will probably still be going in another 30 years. And considering it's already probably 40 years old, it hasn't done badly, has it? Once the speakers are clipped on, you can carry it with this. Very firm handle indeed. Space in there for 3 cassettes. So yeah, quite a nice piece of kit. Anyway, hope you liked it. See you soon.